What up, folks, and welcome back to another episode of DGS2 Case 4. So we just received a detective's ID from DuKlutz and DuKlutz. It's apparently a fake, so we're gonna take a look at this ID now that we've actually gained it. See what information we can gather from this fake ID. I'm gonna have to get in the habit of going backwards now because there's so much evidence in my, court records right now. Let's open the ID cover and look inside. Wow, this is a really well-made fake. Incidentally, what is the name on the ID? Probably one they just made up. Tobias Gregson. Huh? The Scotland Yard emblem. It looks real. What? Additionally, his department and ID number, everything checks out. When did she look up all that information? So then, does that mean... I'm loath to believe it myself, but it's likely a genuine Scotland Yard ID. You've gotta be kidding me. This thing is real? Detective ID. Detective Gregson's ID. The real thing. Issued by the Metropolitan Police. Okay then. Maybe it's not a fake. Could you have a closer look at this ID? Gina-san.
Gina Lestrade?
What is the meaning of this defense? It's just that we can't tell for ourselves whether this is fake or not.
Ludicrous. A yard detective would never allow his ID to be stolen.
Hold it! This is the real thing! I'm certain of it! That's the boss's ID!
What?
Then that must mean that the Detective Gregson who showed up at the place where the Red-Headed League was meeting really was Detective Gregson in the flesh, in the middle of an undercover investigation.
No way!
Order!
But if his ID had been stolen or anything like that, then he should have reported it at once. He was always telling me that. If you lose your ID, report it right away.
Either that or Detective Gregson had some sort of circumstances that prevented him from reporting it.
Like what kind of circumstances?
Circumstances that would have prevented him from reporting it. Wait, you don't mean...
It's entirely possible that he'd already been murdered by that time.
What?
Order! The day of the incident, the victim was murdered somewhere else. Are you certain you two don't know anything about it?
We don't know anything, honest! We didn't do anything wrong!
Stop that, DuKlutz. I'm begging you. You've got to act more villain-like and get a grip on yourself.
If I'd known something like this was gonna happen, I'd have gone home to Italy!
Please stop crying, DuKlutz. If you don't, then I'll start crying too.
Oh my god, these two!
Oi! Knock off the crying and spill everything right now!
In any case, it seems that we'll need to hear more about.
We don't know anything. Honest. We didn't do anything wrong.
You're going to tell us the truth about everything. If you want to avoid the worst possible outcome, that is.
Crying in French. Start by wiping away your tears and testifying. Tell the court what really happened when you confiscated this ID. This is getting ugly. Uh-huh. The detective with his ID.
Truth is, after we caught him, we locked him up for a night in our hideout. We were pretty sure he was only a fake detective, but we were still afraid to let him leave.
We confiscated his ID and locked him up in the room next to us.
There was a little scuffle, but we released him the next morning scot-free.
We just had him hang out in that room for a night. You can only call that locking him up at the... oh!
What did you say? You locked him up?
No, but, you know, it wasn't like that at all. Not at all. It was very calm and peaceful and healthy, okay? Isn't that right, bro?
None of that was ever part of my plan.
What are you saying? That almost makes it sound like it was my fault. You want to blame this on the fact that I bought our getaway ship ticket for one day later than we meant to? Is that it?
Oh my god, these two.
Don't almost make it sound like me. It was obviously all your fault.
No, no, no! I wonder about that, bro. I really wonder about that.
Now then, defense, your cross-examination.
I'd never have dreams that he was a real detective.
I skipped the line. You two can have a big falling out as you like back at the detention center. My bad. I was like, wait, I read too far. Sorry. Now, defense, you may have your cross-examination. Excuse me. So, Detective Gregson spent the whole night before that incident locked up in these two hideout. Oh, that's a weird sentence. These two's hideout. Ugh. Alright, here we go, let's go. Pick music has picked up now. Excuse me, but what do you mean, a little scuffle?
Huh? Oh, so, as I said, it was really nothing.
Yeah, it was all that fake detective's fault, right, bro?
What happened?
You're never gonna believe this. We went through all that trouble of locking him up. And we caught him trying to sneak out during the middle of the night through the vent.
You really should have anticipated that.
So then we had no choice but to chase him down and catch him.
Obviously, right?
Oh, no way! Don't tell me you unintentionally shot him or...
What are you talking about? Such a big fat no. All we did was catch him peacefully and put him back in his room.
Eh? May I, DuKlutz-san?
What? You coming for me again?
It looked like you were thinking about something after hearing the Capable-san's testimony just now. Well, actually you were acting pretty strange. Did you think of something?
Nah, it's just that my bro here can be real scary at times like that. I guess you could say that poor old DuKlutz here suffered his wrath too.
Suffered his wrath?
No, DuKlutz. Let's not dread that up.
To tell the truth, I got cold feet the night before we pulled our red-headed league plan. And I tried to escape through the window of the inn. I felt bad about it though.
Things probably would have turned out better for you if you'd run away then.
Incidentally, my bro here came after me at Mach 1. He dragged me back and threw me back in my room. And I've still got the marks to prove it. Right, bro?
What do you mean, the marks?
Oh? What? You want to see my marks?
Let's just leave it at that. Shall we, DuKlutz?
What to do? To show or not to show?
Show us and get it over with.
Well, okay then. I'll fulfill your eated ops. Check this out. It's still bright as day.
Doesn't Gossip also have that around his neck too? What's that red ring looking bruise?
My bro here can be such a troublemaker.
Let's just leave it at that, shall we? That mark on DuKlutz's neck has nothing to do with this case. I, du capable, guarantee it.
What do you think, Defense? That red ring-shaped mark around DuKlutz-san's neck. Request testimony? Wait and see. Oh no, we're asking for testimony. Oh boy. DuKlutz-san, please testify in more detail about that mark around your neck.
See, bro? Everyone wants to hear about it.
In that case, the witness will add a statement to his testimony.
Well, I can't pretend it's a fun story, though. That detective made a clumsy getaway attempt, too. I got this mark from having a collar put on.
Okay, hold on just a second. So if the detective has a mark, then it should be visible in the photo, wouldn't it? But it's not there. It's actually Gossip from the looks of it. Detective Gregson went to conduct an undercover investigation the day before the incident and got locked up.
No. It was more of an invitation than locking him up. We made him right at home.
Either way, there's a huge contradiction here. Contradiction? Please look closely at this photo of Detective Gregson. There's no red mark around the victim's neck.
Huh? That's weird. I was the one who removed the guy's collar in the morning. And I'm sure he had a red mark just like mine.
So long as DuKlutz-san has that mark around his neck, then the victim, who had his collar stuck on later, must have had a mark too. You're right. That's very peculiar, isn't it?
Like we said that. We told you all that from the very start.
That's right. The man in this photo is a completely different person than the one we caught.
Nice animation, yo. It was Gossip then that they caught. With Detective Gregson's ID? Order! Order! Order!
If that's the case, then... The man who showed up at the park on Lime Street the day before the incident, conducting his undercover investigation, was not Detective Gregson.
But if that's the case, then this ID doesn't make sense. This is a genuine ID, issued by Scotland Yard. There's no way it could have been just easily swiped by some third party. That was the prosecution's very own claim. Oh, take that! Additionally, the red-headed leak showed up on the Detective Sama's notebook as well. I don't believe we can write this off as irrelevant. It seems that we've reached an incredibly strange set of contradictions at this juncture. If the man who appeared before the witnesses was the real Detective Gregson, then why is there no red mark around his neck?
On the other hand, if that Detective Gregson was an imposter, then why did he have the real ID?
Your thoughts, Defense? They're right. This is a very strange set of circumstances. However, that's precisely why the information in the court record is so important. After all, the facts don't lie. The facts don't lie. Even if those facts are incredibly hard to believe. As for who the person was who showed up at the meeting place for the Red-Headed League that day, the information in the court record indicates the answer. What?
Fascinating, Naruhodō. Then why don't you show us what you found? Who was the Detective Gregson who appeared before the witnesses the day before the incident?
The real one or an imposter? An imposter. It's a baffling situation, but there's one pertinent fact here. As long as there's no red mark around Detective Gregson's neck, then it's impossible for the man they met to have been the real Detective Gregson.
In other words, your claim is meaningless.
The defense hasn't finished making its claim yet.
What?
There's no red mark around the victim's neck, in which case the next thing we should ask ourselves is who it was that showed up on Lime Street carrying Detective Gregson's ID.
That's right! No matter what anyone says, we'll stick to our testimony. My bro here put a leather collar on the guy and dragged him back inside by it.
No, I did not go that far.
Who on earth was that imposter detective?
You seem to have someone in mind. About the true identity of the man these two locked up for the night.
In that case, the defense will state its thoughts. Who was it? It was Gossip. Who is this? A witness who testified earlier in this trial. A man with no name who sells topics to people along the roadside.
What would a Fresno street peddler be doing with a detective's ID? Well, witnesses.
What on earth happened to his lips?
Huh?
This guy doesn't belong in the Red-Headed League. He belongs in the Lip League. Right, bro?
It looks like you've got the wrong lip.
Even so, I definitely saw it. When he was testifying earlier, there was a red mark around Gossip-san's neck.
Uh-huh.
What?
The defense moves to summon Gossip-san to the witness stand once more. Order! Order! Bailiff! Bring Mr. Gossip from the witnesses who testified previously. At once! You were right. There's a red bruise. And not only that, it looks just like the one on the witness beside him.
So, what's the story with this bloke? I was born with this bruise around my neck.
Yeah, right. Born with it? Also, something tells me that our imposter is also an imposter of an imposter. Imposterception.
I believe the bailiff should have explained to you why you were summoned again.
Yeah, he told me. Something about a detective, right? But I think all of this is just one dizzying misunderstanding.
Are you claiming you have no idea about any of this?
Of course I am! This unbearable atmosphere must be some sort of punishment for something!
Now, just think of it as another topic you can add to your repertoire. We just need one final bit of testimony from you.
You too, DuKlutz-san. DuKlutz-san. Understood?
Sure, I understand fine, but...
This isn't good, bro.
Now then, you will testify for the court once more. The detective with the ID.
The man who made a big fuss about being a detective that day was not this person.
That's right. There's no way I'd forget leaps like that.
I've never left Fresno Street, and I ain't interested in this red-headed league. I've got no family, and I'm all alone in this world. There'd be no reason for me to do something like that. First of all, no one with a face as unique as mine could hide it with a disguise.
Gossip, I think you just kind of blew your cover. I think you just, yeah. It seems that it wasn't this man after all.
I don't think it was ever necessary for us to testify about this in the first place.
I'm just a humble Fresno Street peddler for starters. I'd have no way of getting my hands on a detective's ID.
Well, yeah, maybe not, but... Anyway, defense, keep the cross-examination brief. Why won't anyone take me seriously? I'll see you through this, Naruhodō-sama. So does that mean you knew about the red-headed league?
Well, yeah. Topic's on me bread and butter, see? I get reddish gents interested in it sometimes. I even secretly sold it to that old sandwich bloke.
True. I feel like the end of his nose was rather reddish. The end of his nose?
As you can see, my hair ain't even close to being red. Besides, I consider Fresno Street my turf. There's no way I'd bother going over to the other streets.
Decapable? If I may, Decapable-san.
Oh! Sure, what is it?
He bounced back really quick. Was there something about Gossip-san's testimony just now that bothered you?
The other day, I was thinking of renting a small house on Lime Street, and I did a bit of searching.
You mean a hideout to conduct your red-headed leak fraud scheme from?
And that's when, in the real estate office of Lime Street, I saw him. This man, paying the real estate agent.
Huh?
The Gossip-san was at the real estate office?
Oui, they had the contract laid out between them and were discussing business.
No. There's gotta be some kind of mistake. I'm telling you, I've never left Fresno Street. I was born there. Besides, I've just got one of those faces. The kind you can find just about anywhere.
Yeah, right. Alright, I just remembered. This bloke was separating out his payment from a thick roll of cash.
A thick roll of cash?
Like I said, that wasn't... It weren't me!
I wondered why his clothes were so filthy if he had all that money. That's when I saw his name on the contract.
His name. It's Gossip-san, right?
Did he tell you he had no name? Cheeky lying bastard! Your name's Yuujin. What are you trying to call yourself gossip?
What?
No!
Oh,
I just make me living selling topics on Fresno Street. I can't stand talking about myself, see?
A valid point. The Supreme Court is no place to reveal witnesses' personal lives. I understand. In that case, the court will strike this witness's name from the record. Will that help? Hell no! We're not doing that! We can't allow that. The name we just heard is incredibly significant. What? What? Your thoughts, Prosecutor Asogi?
That name has already made an appearance in today's trial.
Really? Actually, now that you mention it, it does sound familiar. Yuujin. That's the name of the tenant who's renting the apartment where the crime scene is. Which means that the place where the victim's body was found was your room.
Witness, your response.
Well, I reckon you're right about that. Can't deny it.
And your name is Hugh Boone, isn't it?
Maybe it's cocky of me to say, but I'm a ruddy fine peddler. I earn enough to be able to afford to rent a ramshackle room like that.
Dear Lord.
Once every 6 months, I go to the real estate office on Lime Street to pay my rent in a lump sum. Come to think of it, these two crude blokes are there too, weren't they?
Huh? I don't know about my bro over there, but where do you get off calling me crude?
You've obviously got that backwards, DuKlutz.
But why? Why didn't you say anything?
Well, like I just said, I just want to make a quiet living as a peddler.
I don't think he's anything. I don't think he's a peddler at this point. If that is his room, there is something in that room that will reveal his real identity. His real identity at this point, because we did find a certain picture frame in there. Add that shocking statement of yours to your testimony.
Guess I got no choice.
To think the owner of the crime scene room, whom the yard had been looking for, would be right here under our noses.
I admit that I'm the one renting the room where the crime scene is, but
Okay, so we're gonna stop here. This is where we have to present that framed picture that we found in that room. Now that we know that that room belongs to Hugh Boone, quote unquote, at this point. I don't think that's Hugh Boone now. So, we're gonna stop here and we'll continue this in the next video. So I'll see you guys then.